we probably won't have much video for a while due to the fact that we will be paying very close attention to our snow travel safety, but I thought I'd show you a little sunrise as we head off. All right, y'all, we've come a ways now. Ooh, this is not easy. Not that we thought it would be. Henry's having the time of his life, and I'm like, I'm here! Anyway.
So we finally summited one of these ridges for a nice ridge walk. We came from down over there somewhere. We got the nice clouds in the valley.
Already time to take off some layers.
Yep, warming up.
This is the only layer I have on.
And she's off. She's over there. We're just following the footprints / the ridge line, which is where the footprints are following. And we just do that until we get to the top of Baden-Powell, basically. So we're walking along the ridge line, and there's Mount Hawkins right in front of us. And we have a choice to make. The PCT and the boot track goes beneath it. That would mean putting back on our, at least micro spikes, but since we have crampons, we'd put back on crampons. And, you know, it's a little steep, it'd be fine, but there's also a track on Gaia that goes right up to the top of Mount Hawkins, so I think we're gonna elect to do that.
All right, we just summited Mount Hawkins, and I am sitting, preparing for what is next. What's next?
Let's see. I'll let Pamela fill you in on the details, but we're drawing ever closer to Mount Baden-Powell. There's Mount Burnham close to us. Then we'll walk the ridgeline to Baden-Powell, and there's whatever that is. And there's the clouds in the valley, still hanging out.
We're making some more progress. The snow is really beautiful. All right, so we're approaching, hi Henry. We're approaching Baden-Powell right there. And I've decided it's time to eat my lunch. So we have a dry spot to sit here and gonna enjoy some tortillas and peanut butter. Ooh, almond butter actually.
So remember the other day when I found out that one of my trail mix expired last year? Well, I was doing a food count and I looked through them all and I thought, same stuff, different packaging. That might not be good. Sure enough, this is the old packaging. Expired in 2021. At least the back half of 2021, but still. So there you have it. But you know what? Still no regrets because I hate waste and I'm sure it'll be perfectly adequate. All right, update. I think the peanuts were rancid, but it was still fun. Still no regrets.
When Henry recorded his last video, I said, you know, I have a question for him. He doesn't know what this question is. So here you go, Henry. What would make you regret this expired bag of trail mix? Because it's clear that you have no regrets despite, you know, that it's old and it's stale and the nuts are rancid. So what would actually tip you over the edge of regret?
If I got sick,
Okay.
but I wouldn't know that it would necessarily be from this.
Yeah, you would never if I know you, you would never in a million years attribute it to that.
Or if it was like really bad. This wasn't. It was just kind of bad. The M&Ms are good. I ended on an M&M.
That's the way to do it. Good planning. Almost there. All right, we made it to the summit. It is beautiful up here. And we didn't know that anybody would be up here just because, you know, people do it early. And so usually, like with us coming from the south, we wouldn't necessarily run into anybody. But there was somebody up here that was just coming up and down from the north side, not like doing the whole thing, but just, you know, kind of summiting and going back down and then probably around Highway 2. So that's fun.
All right, this is the back side of Baden-Powell for most snowbows. It's the front side. Trace that ridge for a while, then go down off the mountain.
Hello. Okay, so I just wanted to add that, so currently in Wrightwood, I'm piecing together the videos from the last few days, and I realized there was one day where Henry said, Pam will fill you in on the details, and I never did that. But basically, all I wanted to add to this day was just that there were a lot of very like intense, stressful parts, and obviously we were never like filming those parts. And in these videos, we try to give people like an accurate view of like what's going on, but obviously we can't film everything all the time. And also like a lot of the video is like for us to have later just to kind of remember and stuff. And anyway, just looking through these videos, I was like, wow, I don't know, it just looks like everything was like perfect this day. And it was like probably like my worst day on trail. It was maybe, I guess it was rivaled by the day that we walked the aqueduct when my foot was in excruciating pain for the entire 17 miles. But anyway, it was a really hard day. You know, it's sort of like a lot of people are going around Highway 2. There's certainly a lot of people also going up and over Baden-Powell, and there's a lot of different things to consider of like skill and comfort level and like desire and you know, just like if it's wise for you to do, what equipment you have, all that kind of stuff. And ultimately, like, we definitely felt like Henry and I were both like physically capable of doing it. We felt like we had the right equipment. We felt like it was like a reasonably safe thing to do. Obviously nothing is 100% safe, but like reasonably safe. But I definitely struggled a lot that day, just mostly I guess with like fear, just because there were some really steep sections, and the steep parts were kind of scary. I would say the worst part was in one of the videos, I think also we talked about like sticking to the ridge line, which is what a lot of people had done, but there were parts where some people in certain sections would go around the PCT where you were going kind of like on the side of the mountain, and so it would require, you know, like a lot of side hilling, some with tracks, and some I think probably doesn't even have tracks right now. Which, you know, there's just more exposure and all that kind of stuff. And so anyway, there was one time, I think it was when we could have gone up and over Throop, and I'm not sure why we didn't, but we decided, we found these tracks, we're like, this looks good, we'll go. And that was really rough. After we made it through that section, rough for me. It was Henry's more skilled with all this kind of stuff than I am, which is, you know, something that we are aware of and just kind of like, you know, manage. But yeah, after we made it through that, we thought about going out Dawson's Saddle, but we kind of like weighed all our options, and we had like a lot of backup plans and stuff, and ultimately decided to continue. And the rest of the way up, honestly, like pretty much any time other than like a few like really steep sections, especially at the beginning of the day when it was like pretty icy, it was like totally fine. It was great. But then when it turned bad, it was like very intense and difficult. So anyway, I just say that mostly just because when I was looking back at the videos, I was like, I feel like this is not even a close to accurate representation of what this day was like. And we're trying to like kind of have like relatively, I mean, obviously we're not gonna like get every sense of every day or whatnot, but I don't know, it seemed not accurate to like what happened. So anyway, we did have like a good day most of the day, but the hard parts were really hard. And anyway, yeah, we're happy that we got to do it, and obviously took an extra day coming down. But it worked out, and yeah, it was a good experience. I know for me specifically, I could not have done that without crampons, but that's like totally just me. I didn't see another person wearing crampons like the whole time that we were there, other than Henry had them, so he was using them. But most people, pretty much everyone had micro spikes. I would say only about half of the people had ice axes. Again, I would not have done that without an ice axe, partly to prevent falls, but more to, you know, self-arrest if you did fall. But yeah, I would not have been able to do it without crampons. But certainly many people are, going over without a problem. So it's just really all about like your own, skills and ability and experiences and risk tolerance and all sorts of things. But anyway, just wanted to give that update. I know that was kind of long, but hopefully that gives a little bit more context for that day. And I am excited that there won't be too much more intense snow until we get back down to San Jacinto, which I think will probably be less than Baden-Powell, hopefully. And then we have the Sierras to discuss, but we're certainly going to be skipping over those, at least for now. We might not even ever get back to them, I don't know, but we hope to, later in the season, but I don't know. For now, it's going to be a no, and we'll just have to see where we end up and have to see where things go.